Thank you for attention and your time. We value it a lot. Do not forget to complete easy and short tests you receive after each track in order to get the official certificate Moscow Mice Ambassador. Please let me remind you courtesy rules. Turn off your microphone to ensure comfort for other participants. Write your questions in the chat for us to see and address the speaker after the presentation. Today's topic is general information, all essential knowledge of Moscow as a destination in 1 hour. I will briefly go through our today's presentation plan, destination highlights, getting to know Moscow, and transportation options for MICE groups. Please allow me to introduce our first speaker, Anton Harchenko, Project Manager of Department of International Cooperation of Moscow City Tourism Committee.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm really glad to see you all today, and it's my honor to have a short presentation about general information of Moscow. And I will start just in a second. Yeah, perfect. Well, here's like a short presentation about the main information of our city. Of course, you already know some different facts about Moscow, but just let me remind you. Moscow is a worldwide recognized city and has a huge number of different awards, for example, and also from World Travel Awards and a lot of touristic awards. For example, in 2022, Moscow has been named the best in the world in terms of infrastructure, development, and quality of life, according to the UN Habitat City Prosperity Index. Well, of course, it's impossible to discover the whole city, discover the whole Moscow in one trip, because there are more than 1,700 different hotels, 90,000 and more cafes and restaurants, more than 900 parks and 400 theaters. That's why a lot of tourists and a lot of business groups, they do not just visit Moscow once, but they spread their program for like several times, because 400 museums and a lot of them are interesting and has something new for visitors. About the events, yeah, really, and there are more than 250 events every year in Moscow, starting from big concerts, big sport events on football stadiums, and to small rooftop private parties that can be organized for your group. Some destination highlights for you. Moscow time zone is Greenwich Meridian time plus 3 hours. So the difference with India is 2.5 hours. The official language is Russian, but Moscow, we can say Moscow is most foreign-friendly city is in our country, because most of the signs on the streets have English translation. For example, in metro, if you don't even understand Russian, you can easily navigate, because everything is also in English language. And of course, main tourism destinations and touristic places also have English translation. If you want to organize a special tour for your group, it's also possible, and we can do it on on more than 30 languages. And because of the Russian Touristic Guide Association, because there are a lot of translators and professional guides that speak different languages. Some facts about smoking policy. Well, yeah, smoking in public places is not allowed in Moscow, including private premises, parks, and other cities. But there are always special smoking places organized near main touristic destinations, restaurants, and so on. The official currency of Moscow is ruble, and you can exchange your dollars on your money in almost in every bank, and all the banks are available just near main places. Sometimes you can do it also in the hotels. A few words about electricity. Well, yeah, Russia uses the same power outlets as most European countries. And if your plug is not 2-point and circular shape, you will need an adapter. And it can be, if you buy it, it can be like an additional souvenir. Well, the voltage is 220 volts. Most of the places and shops and restaurants are mainly open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. But during the weekends, this time can be prolonged, and some of the shops works 24/7. So, for example, if you need something during the night, it's not a problem at all. In Moscow, there are a lot of shops that are open 24/7, and it's true, it's really comfortable. Yeah, and there are official holidays in Moscow, beloved holidays for tourists, for visitors, for people who live in Moscow. Some of them, like a New Year, Orthodox Christmas, and so on. But some of them are unique for our country. For example, like Russian independence on the 12th of June. And during all these holidays, during all these official holidays, we have different events, huge events. For example, during the New Year, the whole center of the Moscow, the whole park, all main parks and main destinations are decorated with New Year thematic decorations. And about planning your visit. Well, the temperature in Moscow is for example, we can say Northern Ireland or Denmark, because it has mild winters and warm summers. Well, the widespread notion of a Russian cold winter when it's impossible even to go out is not really true about Moscow, because in Moscow the temperature during the winter is pretty comfortable for even for walking outside, because a lot of people like to walk even during the winter, and it's possible and it's not really cold. But if we say about best seasons for visiting our city, I think the most beautiful and favorable season is like from late spring to autumn, because during the summer Moscow is really green. It's one of the greenest cities in the world, and you can enjoy it during walks in the summer. Of course, it is possible also, and it's a kind of unique experience to experience a winter fairy tale, winter holidays in Russia, because you can not only try some different sports like ice skating, snowboarding, skiing in Moscow, but you can also visit different events that are, as I already said, that happen like in every big park, in almost in every place of the central Moscow, and really experience how we celebrate New Year. That was just a short information highlights about Moscow, and I hope I gave you all the information you needed. But if you have like any questions right now, I'm ready to answer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anton. There are indeed some questions. The first one is, what is the temperature like in winter?
In winter, I think the average temperature is like -5, -10 degrees. But sometimes it happens like for 1 or 2 days, or maybe for a week, it happens that the temperature is lower, like -15 degrees. But usually I think it's closer to -5, -10 degrees. When it's snowing, when it's especially beautiful weather outside, when it's snowing, the temperature is not that low. So during the snow, it's possible to even work for like 1 or 2 hours.
The second question, is there a Hindi guide for mice groups?
Well, it's a good question. I don't know if this guide is for mice groups, but anyway, there are a lot of materials that are prepared especially for mice groups, for Indian tourists. So yeah, there are special materials that will be useful for mice tourism.
Another question, what is the best time to visit Moscow for group and nightlife?
For nightlife, yeah, well, I think the best time for a nightlife to experience real nightlife is summer, because during the summer, even during the weekdays, if you go out in the center of Moscow, a lot of people partying, a lot of people hanging out. There are a lot of opportunities for rooftop parties on the outside. So I think if you want to experience the nightlife of Moscow, the best time is summer.
Another question is, until what time can you play music in the restaurant when you have a banquet or an event, for example?
Well, there are different restaurants. For example, if the restaurant is in the center of the city and where there are a lot of different buildings are nearby, you can play loud music till 11 p.m. But if the restaurant is located, for example, like 50 or 100 meters from other buildings where people live, you can play music during the whole night. It's not a problem at all.
Another question is, what is an average temperature and just the view of Moscow from spring to autumn?
Well, the average temperature is, I think, from 10 to 20 degrees. So it's the most comfortable temperature to walk outside, to have dinners outside, really in the cafes, in the restaurants. So it's also one of the best seasons to visit Moscow because it's not really rainy, for example, like in other cities of other European cities, and it's also not really hot and warm. So you can feel comfortable when you go outside, for example, wearing a shirt, wearing a jacket, and that's fine.
Thank you for answering all of our questions. And we are moving on to our second speaker, Zarina Sadikova, with a topic that is dedicated to getting to know Moscow.
Hello, my dear friends, dear colleagues. I just want to share with you the most important things to know about the Moscow. So we'll be happy if during your stay you will fall in love with Moscow streets, parks, museums, and shops and restaurants forever and ever. To make you feel comfortable in our city, I have collected some useful information for you. I hope you will enjoy it. So we have 7 tourist information centers in Moscow. One moment, please. The flagship tourist information center in Zaryadye Park, 2 information center in Domodedovo Airport, one in domestic and one in international terminal. Vnukovo Airport terminals and Sheremetyevo Airport Terminal B. Some information about this airport. So if you have a direct flight from Delhi to Moscow operated by Aeroflot Airlines, you will land to Terminal C. And our tourist information center in Terminal B, but it's located nearby and you need just to walk around 5 minutes. So just follow the signs. So the next is, so at our tourist information center, you can take free city maps, booklets, Moscow city guides, to ask where to go, what to see, where to eat, how to use the best route, or you can just charge your phone. There are always something to see in Moscow at any time of year. Yandex Maps. So Yandex, I'm sorry. So this is the perfect tool, you know it for sure, to plan your route with any transit modes. Also, we have a free Wi-Fi available underground, in metro, in parks, museums, public places, and public transport. Some useful apps for you. The Mos Metro app. It's free of charge and it's very popular for passengers of one of the largest transport networks in the world, Moscow Metro. You will not get lost with this app. Aeroexpress app. It's an express train to get to Moscow from the airport. Yandex.Go is one of the most important apps. With this app, you can solve any problems related to moving around the city quickly and on time. A taxi arrives in 5 minutes. Delivery of parcel or documents takes an average of 20 minutes. Dishes from restaurants, 30 minutes. And both sender and the recipient will be able to track status in the app. The navigation in the city. So the local people are very demanding people and used to have a comfort everywhere. So that's why we have very clean and a very clean city in any type of the weather, very beautiful city. The climate controlling public transport, the unified navigation system, a universal car troika, so you can buy troika and put some money on it and pay it by applying to the turnstiles. The city takes into account the needs of foreign tourists. The maps, signs, and elements of street navigation are duplicated in English. Some information about Discover Moscow app. So the motto of this portal, Discover Moscow as if you were a local. So you can find the information about the most interesting places for guests of all ages from any part of the world. Ruspass, it's an app for online services for organizing travel in Russia. So it will help you to plan a trip to any region, to book hotels, buy air train tickets, make restaurant reservations, and buy museum tickets. And the Easy Travel, it's also the travel market platform where you can just listen to audio guides when you are in museum or you just have a street walks. Souvenir, what to bring. So we have very tasty cake, Moscow. I know that for sure you know what matryoshka dolls and all these traditional sweets and souvenirs you can buy, mostly in historical center and in some museums. Also, we have a very good shops. So this is the location where you can buy the souvenirs. And the information about the main tourist information center. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Zarina. Everything was very clear and there's no need for the questions. So we're moving on to our last speaker. Let's welcome Evgeny Zhukov, the director of Z Brothers, who will tell you about transportation options for MICE groups.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Evgeny Zhukov and I'm the CEO and owner of Shafi Service Company, which is based in Moscow. So I'm very glad to start present our company for you and for your clients. Our company named is Z Brothers Shafi Service, and we has been established in Russia in 2013, but we are in a business from 2005. So we are in the business from the very beginning when the Shafi service was established in Russia. So we are big experts in what we are doing, and Z Brothers is a first-class Shafi service with English-speaking drivers in Russia and especially in Moscow. For corporate executives, government delegations, business travelers, and of course for MICE groups. So we can provide different types of services as a simple airport transfer, hour-based directed services, together with, of course, our lovely event transportation. So we can provide more than 300 cars on one event. So we are working with most VIP clients from all around the world, such as embassies and from fashion industry, from movie industry, and just etc. Also, we can provide the protection services. So we can provide armed and unarmed executive protection security arrangements and set measures to prevent risk to VIP individuals. So if you have VIP clients and you need the security, we can provide English-speaking security with most professional team. Also, we have a Shafi service school, so we are only one in Russia who provide education for drivers. The first class education, how to work with the clients, how to speak with the clients, how to drive, all the details, so the client be happy. In regards to our fleets, for MICE Group, we can provide different types of cars, starting from 5 packs, 7 packs, 10 packs, 19 packs, and big buses, which can feed 50 or 51 passengers. So all cars are brand new. Of course, in a high season, you need to book the cars as early as you can, because in the high season, especially the big buses, the sprinters, the medium size, are very in high demand, and we recommend to book in advance if you want to get the best service, the good car and good driver. Also, if you will book on some special events, such as in Russia, it can be International Economic Forum, different summits, we also recommend to book in advance. So also, I'm very glad to tell you about our benefits, YZ Brothers. So all our fleet is not older than 5 years, but we are trying to have all our cars brand new. But due to the sanctions, we have some like transform process to buy different cars. I think in the nearest future, we can expect that in our fleet it will be Chinese cars. So Chinese cars is also very luxury cars, such as Hunsi, such as Li model, and others. But of course, we still have in our fleet Mercedes, and also we can work individually upon your request on a model of the car. So all our cars is equipped individually for each client. So we pay attention to the details, as I told before. So we try to have only deluxe interiors cars. All our cars is equipped with water, napkins, charger, Wi-Fi, umbrella. All our cars is insured with life and health insurance, so it's very important. We have, of course, individual approach to each client, so we listen to the client, and we can add any item your client want. So of course, our operation office, our operation department work 24/7. All our managers is English speaking, and we are trying to answer all your requests very quickly. So on email, we can answer you during the 30 minutes. On the phone calls, we will answer you in 10 seconds. So also, of course, you can send us the request by WhatsApp, by Telegram, and so we have different options for you and for your clients. Of course, we have experience working with the top officials, as I told before. So this is one of our benefits. But of course, if I had more time to you to tell about us, or you have questions, I will be glad to answer you. So, of course, we can provide some discounts for you and for your clients in case of special requests or big value of your request order. So everything is discussable. Of course, we are very glad to give you as ambassador the certificate for one airport transfer in Moscow on a business class Mercedes E-Class. So you could try and feel our service, and then you'll be able to understand how your clients will be feeling in the car when you will be able to try it by yourself. Of course, as I tell you previously, we can add individual item of if you want for your client. So we can. It's not easy to get Mazda in Russia, but we can do it. Also, any other items is discussed. We can discuss. So our experience, as I told you before, so we are more than 20. I'm more than 20 years in the business, but company is 10 years. The Z Brothers is 10 years. So, and we are working on different events. So we have providing more than 150 cars during the International Economic Forum in 2015. So we was providing more than 300 cars during the FIFA World Cup 2018. Now we had a summit Russia Africa, and we was providing more than 19 cars. So in common, we are working with different types of clients, and we are ready to listen client and to work with individual requests which you have. So of course, it's a very honored to say that we are winners of the such awards as Buying Business Travel Awards nomination in 2019. So we are the best company for business transfer in Russia in 2019, and also by the nomination of the magazine Business Traveler Russia in 2019. So it was before COVID. Then after the COVID, it was a period, difficult period as for everyone. But now we are again grown. We are again happy to meet you, to meet your clients, and to make your clients happy. So if you have any questions, I will be glad to answer you. And of course, I want to present your personal manager, Daria Florinda. She has experience more than 16 years in tourism. She was lived in India more than 3 years, and more than 10 years lived in Indonesia. And she will be glad and happy to answer all your requests. And if you have any request and contacts, we can provide it at the end of our presentation. So the end.
Thank you very much, Evgeny. All our participants are amazed by your presentation. We do have some questions for you. The first one is, did you work with Indian market or not?
Yes, of course. We was working with the Indian clients, which was traveling to Russia. And also we have I have a good friend from India, so which is working also in transportation services. So then we are like changing an experience between each other, so which help to provide the high quality service for our clients.
Another question, do you have similar options for groups and individuals? For example, water, napkins, or for example, these services are only for groups or only for individuals?
It depends of the individual requests. It depends of how many cars you need, how many group, how many passengers in the group. So in the price, firstly include is if we are speaking about the Mercedes-Benz V-Class 6 passengers. So the napkins, the water is included to the price. But if we are speaking about the bus with 50 passengers, we can discuss. It depends on the volume of the order. So in some cases we can add it by ourselves for free, but in some cases we can discuss additional price for some items.
Okay, thank you very much, Evgeny. I want to give the floor to Mrs. Maya.
One more question.
Ah, we have one more question. Sorry. Yes, our dear participants ask, are you only in Moscow or in other Russian
No,
cities
we are
also?
working all over the Russia. So we are cover all major cities in Russia, not only the major, small cities. Of course, we are working also the neighboring countries such as Georgia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and so the close borders. So we are happy to help you if you have requests in these countries also.
I think that's the end. Thank you very much. Again, I want to give the floor to Mrs. Maya Nurova, the head of Business Tourism Development Department, who wants to tell you some more essential information and guide you.
Hello, dear friends. Well, first of all, I'm very happy to see you all here, to see you because I know how tough the business period is now. And thank you for your time, first of all. Thank you, Fanima, once again, because it's a great opportunity for us to open Moscow, reopen, I would say, to Moscow, to mice market of India, to key players of mice market in India. And actually, this is like the middle of our Moscow Mice Ambassador program. And I'm sure some of you who have been present for the first webinar already have some ideas of how we can, for example, make this program even better. And we will really appreciate if you will send your propositions to Miss Vera, who is dealing with you as a chat moderator as well. And I would like to tell you that we're trying to give you the tools actually to promote Moscow to your clients, because you have numerous clients as key players on the mice market. And for sure, you need to know how to sell the product. So by this program, we are not giving you an idea of how diverse Moscow is, how many activities you're having here, can have here, of course. How many seasons are in Moscow? If you remember, it's 4, and some NEMA members visited Moscow last December, and they know it's not so severe, though the snow is very beautiful and can make the impression. So we just want you to know not only like our DMCs, hotels, and transportation companies, we want you to give the tools to be the leaders for your corporate clients in terms of being specialists in Moscow. And I do hope that by the end of our program, we will accomplish this goal, and we really will be happy to see those of you who will be present at BLTM and the official award ceremony, and we'll be sending, of course, our letters to you personally by email. So please, if you have a chance to be on the 29th of September in Delhi, be welcome to our award ceremony, and we will be giving this Moscow Mice Ambassador certificate to you personally. So thank you very much once again, and hope to see you on Friday, because I will be giving a presentation for accommodation in Moscow, and I will tell you everything about the hotels which are Indian friendly and are ready to welcome mice groups from India. Thank you very much.
Let me, on behalf of our participants, thank our speakers for such wonderful educational webinar. And also we, again, thank you, our participants, for yet another active participation during the webinar. As Maya already said, we will see you on Friday, and we wish you all productive week ahead. And as always, all presentations will be in the chat, as well as the link to the test. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Thank you.